There once was a movie reviewer named Z.O. Tracks. He had subscribers, views, and likes beyond your wildest dreams. Upon termination, he said his final words. You want my treasure? You just have to find it. I left it all in one piece. Ever since then, YouTubers from all over the world set out to find the One Piece. And so began the great YouTube era. That would work if I was something like PewDiePie, but anyways, my name is Zeotrex, and today we are doing a review of One Piece! The One Piece is real! The live action One Piece, because I don't got no time to do the actual show. Released on Netflix just like nearly a week ago. One Piece tells the story of Monkey D. Luffy, who sets out to get the One Piece, a treasure left by the king of the pirates. Do I have to explain? Really? Do I really have to explain? One Piece is the most popular anime of all time. It is like the highest grossing manga, anime, whatever. If you know anime, you know One Piece. I'm like, I don't want to say it's like you go ask your grandma and they know what it's all about. Nah, but anyway, One Piece is really popular. That's my point. Everyone probably does know what it's about. And I have been hesitant to start One Piece, and it's really just because of its intimidating size. So I said fuck it, and just like Arlong or Scruff McGruff, I took a bite, and I'm actually enjoying my time with the series. I think I actually just got done with the East Blue Saga. I am now on Arabasta. I'm finishing up Reverse Mountain, and I'm taking my time with it. School started, all that, so I haven't been a lot, but I do have some good hand amount of knowledge about stuff that happens later in the series, such as Perona, Chopper, Brook, Kaido, Gear 5, and so yeah. Live action anime has always been such like, ooh, like there would be, it's not like video game movies where it goes up and down like, oh, Pikachu movie, good, Monster Hunter, bad, Sonic, good, Halo, bad. Anime, like once in a rare blue moon on a Sunday during the year 2014 in some alternate dimension will we actually get a good live action adaptation. Like, let's see, you got Cowboy Bebop, you got Death Note. The fact I want to find the guy who named that movie Death Note and give him a good old sock to the nose, because that movie was not Death Note. You got that awful Attack on Titan movie. You got Dragon Ball Evolution. So going into live action One Piece, I was a bit hesitant, but I did actually had a lot more high hopes on this one because when the first trailer came out, I was like, oh, this looks like dog shit. But then I actually started One Piece, and I started watching the stuff, and seeing the cast, having the knowledge of Oda himself had a hand in it, I was starting to become a lot more hopeful. I just realized, sorry, the spoilers was up there. No spoilers. I mean, there's slight spoilers throughout the series. I had my doubts about getting into the manga and anime. I was getting hopeful. So how was it? Pretty damn good. This show was a massive surprise. And while there are changes done from the source material, as always, you can't always have it be 1-to-1. It actually really surprised me how much worked. At worst, the changes just slightly clowned me. Get it? Bugged. Buggy the clown. They slightly just bugged me. But everything in this show is so well handled, from the set design to the costumes to the characters themselves, designs. Everything in this show is a One Piece's wet dream. Well, mostly, other than, Nico Robin or Perona or Carrot or Nami. So yeah, when's the hot ghost gonna show up, huh? This cast, man, it's like this cast is great. Anaki Godoy as Luffy. I'm gonna say it. Best casting since Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I think this is up there with the top 10 castings of all time because he captures the character so well. They changed Luffy's character a bit. That way he's not like this giant annoying, like not annoying, but they changed it so that he could work in a live action formula, because in the anime he would do stuff like, oh, thanks for the food, nom, you greedy bastard. And yeah, I'm glad they also kept the fact that Luffy's always hungry. Like, okay, let's see, Luffy is yeah, and it's like he just jumped from the pages of the manga right into live action. Makanyu, sorry if I mispronounced that, as Zoro is so well done. I really like the serious, on edge, kind of cool guy persona that Zoro usually has. And his choreography is great. I love what they did with Zoro's choreography, because you know he's a swordsman, and the three sword style is done really well. You know, Nami, I think not. I'm gonna get into Nami in a bit because I actually do have some things to say about her. I think my favorite casting might be Jacob as Usopp, or Usopp. Usopp is probably one of my favorite characters from the original series, from the show, because he's funny. He's so funny. He lies constantly, but you know, it's like he's a lovable liar. I mean, honorable liar. Great Captain Usopp. And I love how they kept that, like, in with this show. They kept that part of Usopp's character in this show, toned it down a bit. And Jacob as Usopp is great, but I will get into more about him later. Taz Skylar as Sanji, they obviously had to tone him down just a bit. That way he's not a womanizer creep like he is in the anime. But I think Taz Skylar actually does bring that charm to Sanji. And him, with his banter that he has with Zoro, yeah, it's really well done. I think the story here is well done. From kind of like, I think they adapted East Blue the best they could. They didn't adapt all of East Blue, by the way. They left out Logetown for some reason, which I don't know. Guess that is sort of a season 2 thing. From the Marine Base, Shellstown, to Arlong Park, Barache, Orangetown, Syrup Village, everything I think is done here great. Like the story's different, but it's still the story, you know? They do a lot of changes with how it's structured and how the story beats are done, such as, you know, it's not like, okay, we're done here, let's go here. It's all connected. It's hard to explain. There's something that is like gluing them together. Luffy, let's get back to the characters. Luffy is always looking for food, like I said, and he thinks they kind of changed the fact that he takes things a bit too literally. No, that actually he does take things a bit too literally, but they kind of removed how brutally honest he is. Like where Kuro and Django would be like, "Did you hear any of that?" Usopp would be like, "No, yeah, we did." Because like he's like a child with a big dream. Anaki does a great job, and it bounces off of Zoro's calm and aggravated personality. And the three sword style doesn't look too weird, although it looks more like he's holding it with his lips, but that's really just because of how the drawing is done. Let me find it. And never mind. That's just because of how it's drawn. Emily Rudd. Let's talk about Emily Rudd as Nami. So, thank you, One Piece, for falling down. Emily Rudd as Nami. I think she's the character that got the most changes. when we first meet her, she's kind of bubbly and, always like, I'm kind of like the big sis to the group. Here, it seems like she's like, I don't, she seems more aggravated here. And I mean, I guess you would be if I had to keep up with Luffy's bullshit and Usopp's bullshit. And I don't know. It's hard to explain. I feel as if Nami was changed. That's really just it. I definitely feel as if Nami had gone through some changes. Let me turn down the brightness on my phone real quick, because, wow. Battery's dying. Oh, shoot. I need to charge it. So, yeah. The Gum Gum abilities. I think Luffy's Gum Gum abilities are done really well. And they don't look weird, and they kind of look natural. We get all the different moves. You get Gum Gum Pistol, Gum Gum Bell, Gum Gum Balloon, which, oh my god, in live action is actually so fucking disgusting to look at. Gum Gum Battle Axe, and the goofier designs work in live action. Alvida in the manga is drawn so, like, over-exaggeratedly, like, fat. Like, she took up, like, half the page. And, I mean, obviously, you can't get someone to do that. Like, you can't get someone with that level of obesity and, like, try to work with it. Because, I mean, like, people of that size do exist, but, it's hard to really make it work. And Alvida here actually does look a lot better than she does in the anime. She kind of looks like a sweet aunt who'd make you cookies if it wasn't for that giant mace she carries around. I'm curious on what they do with her in season 2. I'll get to that in a minute. Buggy. Oh my god, Buggy is the best part of this entire show. I didn't expect Buggy to have that voice, but hey, I don't mind. His chop chop abilities aren't that bad, but they do work the best under dark lighting. There's a scene later where we see his head like being put on a table, and it looked weird. But hey, yeah, I like how they did the nose effect, and I liked the circus that they did. I actually thought I would not like Orange Town arc here, because I kind of I liked the Beast Tamer, I liked the dog, I liked the mayor, I liked all that stuff, but I actually don't mind that stuff being... That is cat asshole I just opened up. Where was I? But I'm glad they did it like they did in this show. Other villains, I was excited... hold on. I think what they did with Buggy was great. And let's kind of segue into the Luffy origin. So, I think the Shanks stuff is done really well. The guy that they got to play Shanks, while looking as if he could look up at a giant pink lady and, looks like he could be called Joe, or he has a scorpion on his back. Ryan Gosling. That's what I'm joking about. I feel as if Shanks was done really well. His entire crew was done great. The banter that they have, such as, him being like, oh, it's lucky around. It's probably going to last, 3 hours? And I think the scene where he puts the hat on Luffy, oh, that got some waterworks going. I love his relationship with Luffy, and I think they did the first chapter of the anime really well done. Other villains I was excited to see were characters like Kuro, who, spoilers for both the anime and the show, because Kuro is a twist character. I like what they did with Kuro, turning him more horror-ish and kind of turning that whole arc of him going after Kaya more like a slasher, not a slasher, thriller, I guess. I like that. But if I had a few complaints about Syrup Village, removing Django. I think Django the Hypnotist would have been fucking great to have in live action, because he's such a cool character. And also the speed effects for Kuro. I think it kind of suggests that Kuro has super speed, which it's presented that way, but the way it is in the manga and anime is that Kuro, he keeps tapping his feet at one point and then launches himself to another, really fast. Here, it looks like he can just speed around. Not a big issue. just something I wanted to talk about. I also wish they didn't remove Usopp's little pirate gang. I thought they were cute in the anime and manga, and I think it would have been cool to have. Time for some complaints. There's 2 arcs in here that I didn't think weren't executed. Not that they weren't executed that well, but I feel like they kind of got a short end of a stick here. So let's get to Arlong Park. So Arlong Park is the best arc of the East Blue. It's noted as the arc that should get you hooked into One Piece. He's presented as the main villain of this show, which, hey, makes sense. He is kind of the big deal of the East Blue. And he shows up in episode 3. But my issue with how Arlong Park is the pacing, I guess. There's so much time spent on Bellemere's story, which is done well. I think they did handle Bellemere's story well. But the village side of things, it really... I don't know. I think it's Genzo and Nojiko. Nojiko is the sister of Nami. And I don't feel like they really... did like anything with that, you know. There is like one scene where like, but I'm also, keep in mind, I'm saying this before the hat scene, because I feel like the hat scene is the climax of Arlong Park. You know, it leads into all like the fighting and whatnot. So it really, I just don't really look into Nami and Nojiko's relationship of them being sisters, even as kids. I don't think little Nojiko really said anything to Nami. It felt a bit rushed, where it's like, oh, look, you found this book. I hate you! You're not even my real mom! Like, and I think I know the issue. Arlong Park is so long in the anime that trying to adapt it into just 2 episodes is gonna give it that rushed feeling, in my opinion. And I don't know, I just don't feel like the arc sadly hit the right beats up to that hat scene. Like, this is my biggest problem. This is the biggest change I actually dislike a lot in the anime. Usopp dying, the Nami killing Usopp, that is such a powerful and strong moment in One Piece. That removing it, it's like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't really like that. I guess it's because Yosuke and Johnny aren't in here, which I'm fine with that change. So I guess like, I guess it should have been Zoro seeing it or something. I just wish they kept that iconic moment in. Probably to save time, to make it work more for a TV... I look like Superman. To make it work more for a TV show. Whatever, it's just the worst change in my opinion. It's a massive plot point of the original anime, how Nami didn't want to kill Usopp. And, again, to me, it kind of feels like they were trying to get to the help me scene as fast as possible. So I'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about the Barache. So, it feels so stripped down. Like, okay, first of all, I think they got what the best part of the Barachi arc is right. You know, they got that aspect right. That being the relationship between Sanji and Zeph. The origin story is so well done, but I think the issue is Barache is that it's more so, it's a location, yes, but it feels more so like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel as if the stakes were that high this time. Well, like stakes as in, you know, story stakes, not, you know, good tea tomahawk steak that Sanji would cook up for you only for Zeph to turn down. I think the issue here is removing the main villain of that arc, Dawn Krieg. He shows up and then is killed by Mihawk. Let's talk about Mihawk real quick, okay? I think the Mihawk side of things were done so well. The guy that they got to play Mihawk perfectly captured the character from the anime. From him talking to the way to the expression that he has on his face, to literally just like all of that fight with Zoro. Oh my god, they do such a great job with Mihawk, and I think that makes up for most of the Barache. Granted, Barache is a bit too long for my taste, but removing Krieg kind of strips of what made it like feel like the Barache. It doesn't. When Arlong shows up, someone who should be more dangerous than Don Krieg, it doesn't feel like the Barache is in danger, because in the Barache arc, you know, it at the platform. Shut up. It had the platforms coming out. What time? What? And all that. Luffy just fighting against Don Krieg. All of that. That being removed kind of makes it feel less special. I'm glad that they included Jin coming in, but I don't know. Jin coming in and eating, it just, I don't know. That's the thing, is that it's an arc that I definitely think could have been stripped down, but the fact it's stripped down bugs me. It's hard to explain. And let's talk about the subplot of this story. The Marines. I actually did not expect how much of the Marines that they would have. I think Garp as an antagonist, ooh, he's pretty cool. I haven't met Garp yet. And his relationship with Kobe is pretty done well. I like Kobe in this show. I think Kobe, given so much to do, is nice. And same as Helmeppo. I haven't gotten to the point where, you know, they're all hot looking or whatever. And I like Garp's relationship with Luffy. And I actually found out that Garp was Luffy's grandfather in this show. That's a genuine twist to me because, again, I have not gotten to Garp yet. Now let's talk about A Season 2. So it's obviously going to be the Alabasta saga. Or Arabasta or Baroque Works, whatever you want to call it, with a hint of East Blue. I think the first 2 episodes is going to be Lockdown, because at the end of this series, spoilers, they tease Captain Schmoker. Wait, by the way, that's just up and down, which means they are doing Lockdown. I think the way they present Smoker at the end of this series, he's going to be like Garp. He's going to be the main antagonist. He's going to be chasing down these characters throughout Baroque Works. And I'm really excited. I'm curious to see what gets adapted here. I'm wondering if maybe we can see Laboon. I'm curious if we could see all these other characters. And definitely, I'm curious on what the hell is a Tony Chopper. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him. I hope this show... I'm hoping this show genuinely goes on to Wano. Probably not, but I'm hoping we get to the point where we start seeing some live action Gear 5 versus Kaido. We see characters like Brook, we see characters like Jinbei, Ace, and I know I'm saying this as someone who's still in Arabasta, but I have, you know, I'm still here. I'm hoping that we get to that point, because One Piece on Netflix is the best adaptation of an anime like ever. Enough changes that there's enough changes in the story to make it feel like to make it work in this format. And the story that they tell is great. You can tell that the people behind this actually cared a lot about the source material that they were adapting, which is something that we need more a lot in just shows in general. Like Halo, like the guy straight up said, yeah, we didn't play it. I think we need to get some genuine fans of the actual source material that you are adapting, because we've seen this shit happen with Witcher and like Halo, like I've mentioned, where it's like, why do the story if you're not gonna pay respect to the source material? So I'm glad that they did. I'm glad that One Piece was made by people who had genuine care and love, and also helped that Oda kept his eye on it. This felt more like a TV show made by One Piece fans, more than it felt like it was made by Netflix for American audiences, like Death Note or Cowboy Bebop or fucking whatever. I'm gonna give One Piece a straight up A. There's a lot of stuff that I There's stuff that just bugs me. Certain changes here and there, like Usopp dying. Barachi arc feeling a bit short. What else? But yeah, you have to search for issues with the show. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I've really been enjoying One Piece so far. It's gonna I've always, like I've said, I've always been sort of intimidated to start this series, but since I've started it, I've really been enjoying my time with it. I haven't been able to watch too much of it, and there are times where I like sit there and I'm like, oh god, I'm so intimidating. I'm trying to make it so that it doesn't feel like a chore. It's like, okay, it's time to get my 10 episodes in or whatever. I might go to One Piece, I might read the manga. It depends. I'm really enjoying One Piece so far. I think it definitely does deserve the spot of where it's at. And I'm curious, and I want to see this team or this studio behind this adapt more source material. I wouldn't mind if they did a Dragon Ball, honestly. If like, because I feel like Dragon Ball, if given the same amount of respect as One Piece is given, it could be great. Although, granted, Dragon Ball as a series, I think it could work less as live action. Or maybe something like Attack on Titan. That'd be cool. A live action Attack on Titan show. Or a what other shows do I want to see? Naruto. Naruto is the only only one of like big shonen animes to not get a live action adaptation yet. There's Bleach, there's Dragon Ball, and now there's One Piece. So My Hero Academia, which I am going to consider being a pretty big like thing, is getting an adaptation, which, you know what, I'm excited for. Screw it, I'm actually really excited for that now. If it's going to be given the same amount of respect, I think it's Netflix, but it is made by Legendary, I am going to give them the benefit of a doubt and hope that they make a good thing. And hell, that new Netflix Death Note series, made by the Duffer Brothers from Stranger Things. Duffer Brothers, yeah. I'm seeing that One Piece is giving me some hope for some live action adaptations coming soon. Still gonna, cross my legs and cross my fingers, hold my penis. But either way, I hope Netflix can learn from this show. I'm hoping it gets a season 2, maybe a season 3, hell, season 15. I don't care. Keep this show going. Keep it until they find the One Piece. I'm saying this all like as a part of the outro. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this One Piece review. I'm glad to start this long journey. I've been enjoying One Piece, and my next review will probably be that new Superman show. But until next time, shit, what? Find my treasure!